Okay, so we are live now. Okay, so yeah, so this is the link that I wanted to share with you people. Basically, we were getting some error previously that seems to be resolved here. So basically, a lot of people were getting this error and most probably misunderstood this whole exercise. Basically, we don't have to we don't have to increase our replica count when the replica connects to us. So the task is whenever we get a wait command, we have to send attack commands to the replica, and whichever replica replies, just add that to the replica count. So that's why if you look at the third point, the return number of replicas might be lesser than or greater than the expected number of replicas specified in the wait command. So in the test case itself, they are making sure that we they disconnect the stream. So yeah, there is this like code here. So basically we just have to wait to get a command, and that's all. So they will set something and then they will be get at. So they should be receiving get at commands after every set, I think. Will it be after every wait? So that's something I'm not sure. Maybe this is after every wait. Yeah. So for each wait, it will send replicas and it will send the get out command to the replica, and it will wait for how many replicas have returned response to that. So if I run this, basically this, why was this error coming? This error come because of removing replica from master because of broken pipe. Yeah, also have to do something about this removing old replicas. But yeah, this can be done later. So it should be easy to check. This should be, I guess the single replica is good enough. Okay, it's just that I'm not in the correct folder. This is good enough, I think. Mm, wasn't the command gettack? Let's take a look at this. Repl-conf gettack. So this returns okay. This is supposed to return how much offset I have received. Hmm? Okay, weird. So this is something that needs to be sent over that connected replica connection, I think, because it's not working here. Let's look at the code. Oh, so it's like for master it will always return okay. Sure, sure. So there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, and we should do repl conf get x star, and yeah, it works. Okay. So yeah, now we will solve the issue. Let's solve the problem. So a few things. One thing I noticed was I'm not really using this replica. So we don't really require it. I mean, we require it, but we can just make it to a simple atomic counter will be good enough for this. Let's call this okay, let's see what does atomic U size looks like. Atomic U64 should be good enough. Yeah, atomic U64. What generic does it require? Doesn't require any generic, I guess. Yeah. So if I don't have clone, I think I'll still be okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm okay with this. And where else is failing? What is this? And let's make it atomic use size. That's it. And it requires something called an order. So this can be relaxed ordering. Relaxed steady sync ordering. Okay, let's see. What is the error? This should still be good. And this became private variable somehow. Okay. That's a spelling mistake. And one of the places saying it's private. Yeah. So ordering of relaxed. And this we have solved. Okay. So in this thing, we'll keep waiting for this thing to become less than n. But before waiting for this whole timeout, okay. So I need to send some command to other thread which will send acknowledgement wait to the replicas. And I can keep waiting for replica count to increase. But before doing this, I need to make sure I can wait here. So I need to make this function async. Okay. I don't think I get the lib here. Yeah, I don't have access to stream here. I can just have signal. And whatever signal I use, it needs to be sent first before I return from these values. So what I'll do is I'll do replicas dot unwrap dot replicas dot store store 0, and this should be called as atomic ordering relaxed. So once this thing is done, I need to x equals to okay. So now I need to notify rest of the people, but you understand what I'm trying to say here. But then I'll be taking a lock here, and then we'll be waiting for that lock to be removed. So I'll never be successful in taking the lock. Let's see if there is a lock method available on the U size. There is a spin loop function. There is a fence function. And there is a compiler fence. And these are the only methods that I have. So I would need that log. What will this condition where wait timeout will do? Will it ever release the log or not? Waits on this condition variable for a notification. Timeout after specified time. Okay, so log will be reacquired when the function returns. Okay. So how will this synchronize? Like it cannot happen after the return of this command, and we need to yield. We need to say that go outside and do something. Okay, what kind of send did we have? So all of them are sync sender, and they have a big problem that there's synchronous. But if I use Tokayo's sender, and here these are not sync, so people can wait over them. But then if I ever do this, I need to make this whole function asynchronous. And if I make this whole function asynchronous, then I need to make the other command asynchronous. Which is here. I have to make this asynchronous, and after making this asynchronous, I need to select over it. Tokayo wait select. So the select will wait. So the rest of those will be cancelled, and I don't want that. I wish to go back there. So this will be done by some kind of thread, some kind of spawn. Let's call that event handler spawn. Yeah, that will be otherwise too big of change, and I don't do that now. So there is a handler here. Which will try to receive from there. What will this try receive do? This will send true and false there. But when this needs to be done, it's gonna be done immediately. We need a mechanism for this. So as soon as we get some values from there, we will try to send it. Okay. So let's call this count aux. And what about one shot in our standard library? No, there is no one shot channel. Count aux receiver. Count acknowledgements. This is great. This will be tx4. So now it should work. It's just that it needs to happen on another thread. So before we send this, we'll do a Tokayo spawn. and this will require rx dot count aux receiver for sn dot receiver. It says that this needs to be a feature, so I can just write async here. It should work. Okay, let's see Tokayo spawn. So this should be let receivers count of receiver equals to rx dot count of receiver. And what about these channels receiver? Are they send? Do they implement it later? Yeah, they implement it later. And what about send? They are also send. No. What does this mean? Okay, they are send but not sync. Let's see what is a full error. Oh, this doesn't need to be a function here. And this we need to do is send values to the counter. Okay. So new replica is being added, and replica is our push sender. So this doesn't need to be this thing. So if it is a new replica, it will be returned. But if it is not a new replica and we got a command here for this thing, then what will happen? This is the replica count. So what will we do is we'll take over this node increment the replica count and we'll notify the values there. Sure, so there should be a loop over all the replicas that we have. And where will we get that from? We'll get that from the stream. And who will be sending those values to the stream? Okay, there should be, like it should be done somewhere here, where send command to master. So we have pacing, replicon, listening port, it requires a stream, a list of stream, a command, and a request buffer. So let's create a copy of this called send command to replica. Send command to replica. And this will be I'll spread the stream and we'll say reply from replica. And we need to create a new split thing here. Yeah, here. Command. Which is, what is the command? This is the command. This should be called repcon get act. Replicon get act. This should be called get act. This should be called as star. Okay, so this is a command that we need to send over. So how will I get list of all the replicas? Usually they are stored in streams, but somewhere I guess we are sending those commands. This is send data to replicas before replying to client. So this will send to replica and this will send the data there. So we can also do this. We can do sender.send and some kind of data. But this will be asynchronous. Can I get access to streams here? I'll only have access to sender. We're creating sender here only. So person who sends message to replica count, they need to handle this. So this sender.send is being handled here. And this is the, we're supposed to get a response here as well. And we should also read from it. So after writing, we should read for the reply. and if the reply is okay, uh, I mean, how will this understand what commands needs to be sent? Sure, it can understand data, but that is just a raw stream. So that's all this thing understands. For now, we can do hack and say that if it is a, if we need to wait for that particular command, it can handle that. But then we won't have access to what values. We'll have access to replicas. We'll also have access to this. Okay. So we need to send repl get tag to every command there. So this will take care of sending the commands to the replica, and that's all. So as soon as something is there, we can do sender.send, and we can say some command like repl get tag. So this will send the bytes to the sender, and this whole thing can be moved there. And sender is borrowed here, and I don't want to take ownership of the sender. So here we have borrowed partial move. And how do we handle partial moves? So I need to take ownership of the signal, and if I do that, then I'll be responsible for this is try receive, and this is partially moved. So how will we solve this? Okay, so if I go into try receive and remove a particular value like this, or I let it be, but I add 0 here, that's all. Or if it is always false, then would it matter here? So it cannot analyze programs like that. So we have count acknowledgement here, and it needs to be done parallelly. So if we move sender there, so even I cannot use sender here. Sender is used to send the data to the replica. But is this the only signal that I'm waiting for? Not really. There is also a new node, and there is send to replica signal. So there are two signals that I need to wait on. So this signal waiting thing is to be done parallelly, and this return might be an issue. Since this is where we are adding nodes to the replica list. So what if this whole responsibility is taken by this particular spawn thread, which will be responsible for sending data to replica and adding the replicas. Okay, so this try receive will be problematic because this loop will never break. We need to break it manually. Okay, so there is a send data to replica command, which we always need. Okay, we move reply there. Other thing we require are these code blocks. And there is no need of returning anything here. So this connection will stay open all the time. And the only time where we don't require is when we don't send the stream. We need to send some stream here, and who have the list of streams. It's most probably this function. So this is where they're adding things to the stream, but it can be done by us as well. So we require a streams handler. Sure. And what is the type of the stream? It's a work of TCP stream. Let's see cargo build, and it's asking us to add some type. This should be used parameter, and we'll be using it for sure. We'll use it here. We'll do stream start send stream of 0. Great. And now this thing is not required because this will keep going on. Okay. And now this is required. We need a type name, and I hope it will be provided by this handle connections reference, which says that stream is this thing. Okay. Okay, what is the other error? Other error is mismatched types. Okay, they just resync RW lock. What's the type here? This is RW lock. I hope it's in the same file. And it's in the same file. So what is different here? Let's handle connection. This stream No method name send found for this guy. So it should be like clone dot into this is like the whole IDE is causing some issues. I can just check the git diff. What happened here was not this place. Should be somewhere in main. Here we have it. So streams dot write dot wait. So we'll just copy paste this whole thing. So yeah, there you have it. And what is this thing? Why is it still failing? Okay. So saying argument to these functions are incorrect. So one is using Tokyo RWLock and one is using async RWLock. So should be using Tokyo sync RWLock. I mean, this is easy to solve. And I guess there should not be any error regarding the method that we are sending. And the receiver cannot be shared between different threads. But it can be moved, right? So where is that receiver? I wish to move specifically the RX here, not everything. How can I do that? If I make sure that RX is not used anywhere else, then it should work, right? And sender is borrowed here. This whole thing should be a function, like a separate function. Whatever things it requires can be converted to arguments. Does it require, let's see, a sync function, handle signals. Great. Now it requires a receiver kind that we can send it. Let's call it handle signals. So it requires RX. What will this RX return? RX. What's the type of this RX? It's a signal receiver. Signal receiver. Okay. What does it need? It needs sender here. What is a sender? Okay, it needs a sync sender. This will be used to pass data to the other sender, other handlers. Okay, now we have a sender here. Other thing we require is the request itself. It should be easy to send. No, it's not that easy because I need to use the request somewhere else. Maybe I can clone it and that will work for sure. Yeah, I need to clone that request. This will return a new slice. I hope it is returnable. Request is equals to let you wait. So now if we take a look at these things, this should work. And now I just need to clone sender and rest of the things. Sender is pretty easy to handle. I can just clone it simply. For request buffer, we can also clone it because there is no other way. back from slice. Let's call it let request clone equals to back new, and we'll see request clone dot send. But wait, the big issue is that I don't know how many bytes were considered for the request. This is just so annoying to work with now. Since the end needs to be sent later, that signal needs to, like, we need to start sending signals before. And this will be a blocking call. So I need to signify or let them know what is the end. Or I can just do all of this thing inside handle input. Okay, let's see. Put it in here. Okay, so yeah, we wanted to check handling of signals. Okay, so back of new, it needs to know the exact end. Maybe I don't handle that part of sending data. Yeah, it's better it's being handled by the main, this function only. But I can handle this part. Yeah. So we'll require another Sender and receiver. Let's call it data sender. This should be done here. So there is a data sender, and there should be a data receiver as well. Okay. Great. And now let's see what we can do. So there should be something called as a data sender. Data, which should be tx5. And then there should be data receiver. I know my spellings are wrong everywhere, but yeah, let's use them anyhow. Okay, so this will be tx5, this will be rx5, and we just need to go here and call this will be back of u8. Okay, and here there would be data receiver, which is equals to receiver of back of u8. Okay, and the other thing we require is this thing. Every data is equals to self dot data receiver dot try receive dot unwrap. No, this should be empty or something. So dot into iter into iter. No, unwrap or else. And default value will be an empty vector. So this is awesome now. after handling the response or before handling the response? I guess I should do it before handling the response to them, because this thing will be stuck there, and this handle input will be consisting of all the responses that is required in there. But n won't be, you won't reach n. But I don't care about that, right? Like I can always send request from here, since this is a new request and this is the response. Where are they copying the request? It should be somewhere here in the handle signal. They must be doing something with the request. Okay, so they created a request something. Oh, there it is. So let's see. Back from slice. Okay, we can use the back from slice. This is the request clone, which is equals to some vector. Don't care about that vector. But there is something called as request clone dot send from slice, and this will be your request, and you'll be sending this to the, okay, why just have option of send to master and those things. So in this new function, I feel they don't return the data receiver. Fourth. Anymore. Okay, the other issue is, what is the other issue? Let's see. They're not found in the scope, and rest of these things can be handled separately. So there is a issue of brackets here, and move occurs because of this. So we need to implement clone for this guy. Just thought that we require clone for signal sender. And this should be hashtag derive clone. And sure. And now, yeah, a lot of errors inside that function, which I feel can be solved easily. For example, we need to send stream as well. Somebody needs to know where the stream is. Okay. But I guess I'll do this later. It's getting late. So I will do rest of the things later. Thank you for watching. And yeah, bye bye.